Welcome to the Famous 4 YouTube channel. We at Famous 4 are independent Land Rover specialists, supplying parts, advice and servicing. But we also love to share our knowledge of Land Rovers with others. So today, we are going to share with you 7 interesting facts you may not know about Land Rover. Now, we could tell you that the steering wheel was first placed in the centre of the car, or that the first Land Rover was built years before Land Rover was even a company. But those are the facts that most Land Rover fans already know. So, let's try some more interesting ones. Land Rover built the first ever monster truck in the 1950s. The British Forestry Commission demanded that Land Rover make a vehicle that could manage deep puddles. So, what they did was attach 4 tractor tyres to a Land Rover, creating what is considered the first example of a monster truck, somewhat 30 years before they became popular. The first Land Rover was built in 1947, and Land Rover will still be going strong in 2139. That is, according to the 1995 film Judge Dredd. And the car they will be making is the 2139 City Cab. The only way to get around Mega City 1, formerly New York. This futuristic spin on the New York taxi cab was based on a Land Rover 101 forward control, but constructed to be a fortress on wheels. These cars were actually made for the film and occasionally pop up for sale every now and then. The Range Rover was built by the nephew of Maurice and Spencer Wilkes, who ran the company at the time. Charles Spencer King, of whom the CSK model was named after, would first work for Rolls-Royce after World War II, helping to build jet engines. What put him on the map though and got people noticing him was his work on the Rover Jet 1, which in 1952 set the land speed record for a gas turbine vehicle with 152 miles an hour. You may think you know what year the first Range Rover was made. 1970, right? Wrong. The first ever Range Rover was actually called the Road Rover and was made nearly 20 years prior in 1952. Okay, so perhaps it wasn't the Range Rover, but it was the same project. Land Rover wanted to create a bigger, more luxurious version of the series in the early 50s, and they came up with the Road Rover. This project, however, would be shelved and then picked up in the mid-60s, where King and Gordon Bashford would create the prototype of the first Range Rover Classic. This next one you might know about, but it's too cool not to mention. The Series 2 Cuthbertson. Originally designed by a Scotsman to manoeuvre around the Scottish Highlands without sinking into the ground, this was a Series 2 equipped with not wheels, but rubber tracks. This was later offered as a factory option, just in case you wanted half car, half tank to roam around your town. Another cool but potentially well-known fact is that the Range Rover is a work of art. And that's not an opinion. A 3/4 scale model of the 1970s Range Rover was actually a featured exhibit in the Louvre. It was described as an exemplary work of industrial design. Since then, many other cars have been displayed, but know that it all started with our beloved British car, the Range Rover. Finally, did you know that there is only one military vehicle in the world that is pink? Well, there is, and it's a Land Rover. A modified Series 2A was given the nickname Pink Panther and was used by the Special Air Service in the Persian Gulf area. The hue of the car was thought to have been just right to blend in with the sand in the area at certain times of the day. Pretty cool, right? So, did we teach you anything? Or are you just too much of a Land Rover whiz? Let us know in the comments which ones you knew and which ones you didn't. And also, what's your favourite Land Rover fact?